Hi, this is Isabelle Litzler, the place to be to develop your skills and grow your potential. So I've been very busy working on my book. It's now out on Amazon, so you can check the link right below. This is all about how to become the type of profile that companies want to hire. So a lot of people are just a bit too fast in trying to apply for jobs, and the first thing you need to do is really work on your profile. Make sure that you have all the different features about you that companies will be attracted to. So become the expert, the go-to person, and this is what my book is really about. The central theme is how to become this go-to person that recruiters will want to hire, chase, and basically want to contract with. So check my book. I have a free chapter if you want to see what's inside. It's on many different countries right now, so you can check where you're based, different currencies as well. So the link is right below. I've also worked on my club, C-Suite, so you can check this out as well. This is for high potential and managers. And in the club, we're really working together closely. So this is group coaching really for you on demand, and it's membership based. So also feel free to check the link below. If you want to know more about it, you can book a call with me because I do handpick the members to make sure that we have a group of highly motivated people who want to achieve their goals and especially want to work together. Because again, this is all about the group and not being selfish. So again, check this out. See if it resonates with you. If it's something that you'd like to join, give me book a call with me and we can talk about it. The link is right below. So what are some of the things today I can share with you about how to job hunt in time of crisis? Because you can't really do the same things that maybe would work perfectly in time of where it's easier. Let's just put it that way. Well, the first thing is really to take a step back. I mean, you can't really continue doing the same things at the moment. So you have to take a step back and assess really how things are working globally. So you need to connect the dots. So before you go and send your application somewhere, ask yourself, is this company right now in a position to hire? Especially if it's spontaneous application. So you have to understand that a lot of different parts of the economy are really not in a position to hire right now based on what's going on. So it doesn't really make the most sense to apply at the moment. So the best way to see who's hiring is to look at the job boards. So the first thing you want to do is take a step back, check the job boards. I posted a few below, but you have much more in my other videos. So this gives you a little quick market check to see, okay, who's still hiring in Switzerland or in other countries. You can check my video about job boards. I will link at the end where I talk about all the top job boards and see really who's doing what, who's hiring, which companies are active. I would say from the top of my head, pharma is hiring. So you still have a few sectors that are very active, obviously the medical space right now, and everything that goes around it. But if you're looking in travel and all those things, obviously right now is not the best moment. So I want you to really think about this. What is the consequence of this crisis on my type of work, before you go and submit your application, because you may be wasting your time altogether or having a little bit too much your hopes up. So I don't want to get your hopes down, but I don't want you to be overly optimistic either about your chance to find a job right now, especially if you're an expat and you don't have the local experience. So you just have to be realistic about it. What do you have to offer? Are you the go-to person already in your country? So before you go and want to make it big in another country, what skills do you have at this stage that you can easily market to another country? So this is where my book becomes very handy, because I explain what you need to do to become the go-to person. There's really some work in the background or the back end that you need to get serious about. So it's not just about getting a course and submitting your resume. This is the easy step. Or let me just get a course, get certified, or do some type of training, add that on a line on my resume, and this is it. This is much more than this. If you want to be an expert in something, you have to work hard at it. I mean, you're talking about building up your profile, as I say, making sure that you're attractive, that you've worked on yourself, that you have the right presentation skills. So do you have presentation skills, especially if you're in jobs where communication is essential? So most people don't have that, especially if you're in technical fields. You're probably not in the best shape to speak, to present yourself, to sell yourself. So all these things will become even more important in a crisis situation where you're going to be able to sell yourself a bit better than the other people. So that's really number one, is take a step back. Number two is keep yourself healthy, because at this time, you really have to take care of yourself. Nurture yourself, resource yourself, because if you want to have any chance to, we're not even talking about finding a job, just be in a situation where you're still active in the job market and you're keeping the job that you have right now. You need to take care of yourself. So you need to eat well, sleep well, surround yourself with good people who are there for you. Get some, support from them. I shared this morning with somebody, make sure that, you do things that resource you. So it could be taking walks, it could be reading books. So you have to resource yourself. If you're not resourcing yourself, you're going to be completely without energy, and you're not going to be able to be in your best light to find a job. So, if you're really low on energy, you haven't slept in days, your food is not really the right nourishment that you need, you're not going to be very energetic when you have the interview even. So taking care of yourself in this time is essential to keep your morale, to keep your momentum, and see the longer term picture, and not falling through this crisis right now and letting yourself go. So number two is keeping good care of yourself. And number three is really see what do you miss to have access to the type of job that you want. And maybe, again, I want to really emphasize on the maybe, training would be a good time right now, because you may have extra time if your job search is a bit longer than you thought. If you're working but you're not as busy, maybe it's a slow time right now. This is actually when you want to invest. But again, you don't have to invest tons of money, but you just want to invest in the right things. And being a professional trainer by trade, I've trained many people in my career, worked in training many years. Training is something that's there to fill a gap, but it's not there to just add a line on the resume because you think it's a bit empty. So you really need to think about what is it that I need to work on. So you need to identify this first. And then you can decide, oh yeah, okay, based on that, what I've seen on job boards and the feedback I get from the market, I'm missing this course, or I'm missing this master's, or I'm missing such and such. But don't go into training too quickly before you assess what it is that you actually need to get you where you want to be. So that's why when I have conversations with individuals, the first thing I want to do is assess where they are in their journey and see what's missing. And again, most of the time, what's missing is more the ability to sell yourself, the ability to build a network of people who would be able to be your best representatives when a job opening occurs in a company. So it's more those things that I think people miss more than one particular training. But again, in some kinds of situation, training is appropriate. If you want to go and work for big banks or big consulting firms or top leaders in terms of the multinational firms, usually they want a certain type of training, bachelor, master, and all of those to even enter the company because it's their main requirement. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be the answer for you. Maybe you already have this training. So what you need is more the other things I talk about, which I would argue take a lot more courage. Because taking a training, again, is something that you're more in a passive mode. You're just following what someone says. And you're taking courses and you have exams, etc. But trying to sell yourself, trying to be a better speaker when you have interviews is a bit more challenging because then you are in the front seat and you have to do the work. So again, think a little bit about that. And I want to leave you with this thought for this video. How much skin are you putting in the game? Are you really active? Or are you just in the passive mode where you're following courses maybe, but you're never really, testing that and, actually going out there to deliver on what you learn? Because it's great to learn about management, but how much management are you practicing in the day-to-day? So again, think about how you're going to use the skills that you learn in the training program to become your best, the best employee that you can be, basically. So I want to leave you with this thought. Again, feel free to comment below and check the links that I talked about. Thanks.